Welcome to the Fuller Homestead. We're a family of 4 who left the city life behind to pursue a calling on our hearts to raise and grow what we eat while cultivating a life that is intentional, meaningful, and connected to God. I'm Andrea, a homesteading, homeschooling mama of 2. Come join me as I take you into a glimpse of our daily life here on our 40-acre homestead in North Florida. Look at that. Starting to look like a real garden out here. I got a lot done the last 2 days, which I'm really happy with my progress. We've got potatoes coming up on this row, all the way down. This row still needs to be weeded, but it's not horrible. We've got all kinds of garlic. This is elephant garlic up here. And then I've got strawberries all the way down. And another row. We've picked quite a few berries off of these this year. They're brand new plants, so they'll continue to grow throughout the years, which is cool. And then this is music garlic right here. Gotta pull a little bit more right here. I just mowed. I missed that spot. And then on this bed, we're gonna do, there's more garlic planted, and then there's also onions, and then there's 2 patches of pumpkins that will grow up in there. And then I have squash, zucchini, and cucumber planted here, and they're all starting to come up. They should really take off soon. Excited about that. I just planted pole beans, some bush beans, and some more zucchini in this bed yesterday, so that's going to take a little bit to come up. I planted peppers, so there's a bunch of pepper plants in here, which are babies right now, super babies. Peppers and basil, tons of basil in here because I love it. This bed is empty. There's a couple Brussels sprouts. This is brassicas that's pretty much spent. We might get a couple more Brussels, so I'm just leaving it there for a little bit longer. This bed's empty in the front. And then we've got our tomato bed here that's doing fantastic already. And should start producing pretty soon. And then I've got bush beans in front of the tomatoes. So they'll grow up and give the tomatoes a little bit of shade. And I think tomorrow's job will be actually securing some of these tomato plants because they're already growing up enough to where I can tie them onto the panel, the cattle panel. I come out every single night and pick caterpillar eggs off of my tomatoes already, which is a bit ridiculous, but they're everywhere. See if we can find one. Typically doesn't take long. The moths that have the hornworm that love the tomatoes lay them, and they're already going strong. I don't see any right now, which is like a miracle because I've been pulling like 15 to 20 off every single day. Yeah, so far these are looking pretty good today. And then here, this bed is empty. I've got more tomatoes growing up inside right now under my grow lights, starting off. But on this side of the bed, I've got about half of this row with tomatoes and beans also. Oh, and nasturtium. These are nasturtiums. Nasturtiums are supposed to help, they attract the bugs supposedly and detract them from your tomatoes. That's what we're hoping for, at least. So I have some nasturtiums growing in here too. See, these already need to get tied up. They're already leaning. So tomorrow I'll come out and secure my tomatoes. Anyway, everything's looking pretty good. I'm gonna do some more planting every day as like a try and get something big done out here. So today was weeding, much needed, and mowing. I also mowed a couple of these rows just to make them look like rows. I'm gonna start weeding one of these rows in the next, hopefully this week. I have peanuts, or some organic non-GMO peanuts that I'm gonna plant because Kinsley's a monkey and she goes through bananas and peanuts more than I can even handle it. So we're gonna try and grow some peanuts so we can make some like homemade peanut butter. And then we are going to do some, what else? Oh, sweet potatoes. My sweet potato slips are almost ready inside, so I'll do a row of sweet potatoes out here also, and then we'll plant some flowers. Some of the wildflowers we planted last year are coming back and they're so beautiful. Let me show you. Kinsley loves it. She's been out here so much. Look. So there's these. And then there's these that are really pretty too. And they smell divine. Anyway. So that's cool to see some stuff growing back. So I wanted to talk just a little bit about our raised beds, which I'm currently sitting on. I was out here prepping a couple of rows one day, I guess it's been almost a month and a half now ago, and it's a lot of work, and I just realized, like, I don't really want to do all of these rows every year in ground. So Matt and I talked about it, and we came up with a plan to put the beds in, and we went with the same basic concept that Roots and Refuge Farm uses. They do the same kind of beds, and we figured since we already have this building that got destroyed in the hurricane, a lot of extra metal, we might as well just utilize that metal. So we put it to good use with the beds, which saved us quite a bit of funds creating them. They were a lot of work, and you know, the craziest part, we got the beds together pretty quickly, all of us helping and, you know, team working it in probably like a day. The beds were up and running, but filling the beds was the craziest part. So the part that really took a lot of legwork was filling them, and we didn't want to just fill them with dirt, like all dirt. So we used logs. We did about half of them full of logs, and we have tons of down logs in our woods, so we just rounded up all the down logs and chopped them up and threw them in, and did about half downed logs, you know. Some of them were nasty composting already, and then some of them were super fresh. But what that's going to do is it's going to create like a natural biome and microbiome in the dirt, in the soil, and it's going to be really good because it's going to decompose over time, which is going to enrich in the soil in the beds. And then obviously we wouldn't need as much soil for the beds, which is really great too, because soil's very expensive, and was probably the most costly thing about the beds. And just all in all, it'll be my dogs. Look at my dogs. Are you naughty or what? What's over here? What are you getting? Huh? What? There is nothing good in here but garlic. Garlic is good, and you're not allowed to have it. No. Hey, leave it. Leave it. Oh, there's like hair. Oh my gosh, what was it? Why is there hair everywhere? I'm back. So I'm pretty sure my dogs found the old rabbit den from last year. We had some baby rabbits born in here, and they were so cute, like cute as a button, but They did a lot of damage in my garden last year, but I was so like in love with them because they were so cute that I couldn't do anything about it. So I just let them destroy everything, which, whatever. Anyway, they found like pretty sure they found like where the mom had nested, because that row was watermelons, and they had grown up like really big, and the bunnies got underneath the huge watermelon vines. I went crazy. That's another thing I need to plant, melons. Anyway, so bottom line is we filled the beds up halfway with branches, logs from the woods, and that'll create really good soil long term. And then we filled the rest of them up with some really good potting soil mix. And then we have a lot of compost here that we're actively working all the time. And so we did throw in quite a bit of compost and some manure and things like that we already have working for us here, which is how we topped off the beds. And we ended up with a product that is just like already blowing me away. So last year, at the end of the growing season, basically what happened was we just said, we're going to swing it, see what happens. And we high fenced this whole area in here. I have 11 in-ground rows. Each row is roughly 100 feet long. So 1,100 feet of growing space, which is incredible and should be ample enough space to grow a year's worth of food for our family, which is the goal. So our goal being here is to, within 5 years, grow 90 to 95% of what our family consumes. And that's dual purpose. So that is meats, vegetables, all of the things. So we knew we needed a large garden, and that's why we went with this space. I figured you can't go too big, but you can definitely go too small and need more, so we might as well just go big right from the start. If we don't use all the rows, no big deal. So last year I planted a ton. I worked hard in this garden, put a lot of hours in. My body ached, my hands ached, bled from pulling weeds all the time. It was good therapy. I love it. I really love it. But it was a lot of work. And so at the end of the day, we did get some good yields, but nothing like we should have gotten considering the amount of space and the amount of crops we planted. So we went with the beds thinking, let's just give them a shot. And this is like testimony. Well, let me just... So last year, I could not even sprout a bean plant. Couldn't even sprout it. I would put it in the ground, and immediately before, like right as it was sprouting, it would get gnawed down by critters. Who knows what. I could never find a bug on them, but I could never sprout a bean. Not one. I tried bush beans, pole beans. I tried different rows. I tried them at different times of the year. I was constantly putting beans in the ground, hoping that something would happen, and nothing ever happened. And this year, look at this. And this is in our bed. And it's just so cool. I just love it so much because it's such a testament already to just everything that the bed has to offer. A couple of my leaves absolutely have like tiny holes on them. Little guys get into them a little bit here and there, but as you can see, like we're growing beans. And even last year, our tomatoes never looked this healthy, like never. I started them at the same time. I did everything that I did to these guys. I did the same things this year, and these tomatoes are already looking insanely healthy. Look at these. They're so pretty. I couldn't mow them down. So I'm already just like a huge believer in these beds, and I'm so excited to watch them grow and see what comes of them. A really cool thing is that I feel like they're just a lot more easier to manage also, because I'm not having to get on the ground to look for bugs or to look for, you know, whatever. Granted, yeah, we did buy soil and it was costly, but when you have land that has been just used over and over and over again, and it's just used up and spent, and there's not a lot of nutritional content in the land anymore, it's worth it to spend a little bit of money getting some good soil in, and being able to maintain that little bit of soil versus changing your whole land, and the soil of your land. So I think it was worth it. Thanks, babe. So we're really excited to see what happens in these, and it's already looking, I mean, 100% better than it did last year. Just the fact that I have beans. Beans. Yay! Trooper! What are you doing? What are you doing? This is such a good puppy, you guys. Are you a good puppy? Yeah? He's a good boy. The cattle just got moved over and I've been watching them, and they're so, love them. Maggie still hasn't had her baby yet. They're so fun to watch. I love when they're in this front pasture by the garden, because every time I'm out here working in my garden, I can just look up and see my cows, which is really cool. They're all really excited because they got a little fresh grass to eat. Another thing that's so neat is how much our grass has taken off. And let's see, there's the baby. There's Maggie. I cannot believe she's still bred. She hasn't had a baby yet. And then the other three are down here getting something vigorously. Not really sure what. Maggie! Hey girl! Maggie Moo! Hey, Goaty girls. Clover and Hattie. Hey, Clover. Hey, Hattie. This birdhouse is a little birdhouse that Matt and Noah built when we first put the garden in early last year. And it has been used over and over again by mama bird after mama bird after mama bird. Here I have some of my little baby basil plants sprouting. So happy birthday, basils, yay. And then these are some of my pepper plants. which were started indoors for about 6 weeks, but I did plant them a little prematurely, I think, because we had a couple really chilly nights in between planting the peppers out and now, and I'm pretty sure their growth has been stunted a little. So I did go ahead and start a couple more pepper plants inside, and I'm hoping that we can salvage most of the peppers in this bed. Fiona is our basset hound, and she by far is the most vocal dog you will ever meet in your life. There's little Trooper. He's our newest addition to the farm. He is an Anatolian Shepherd, 1/4 Anatolian Shepherd, 3/4 Great Pyrenees, and he's adorable, and we all love him very much. He's going to be our protector. And there's my sweet family. They own my heart on the golf cart there. The peacefulness that this garden extends to me is just so joyful. I love spending my evenings out here watching the sunset and early mornings out here watching the sunrise. And it's just really encompassing of the beauty and the joy that this homestead brings to me. And I'm just so grateful that we get to share a little bit of this with you. We have come a far way from the almost 2 years of being here, but we still have so much left to do and so much work left to accomplish here. And we cannot wait to bring you along for the ride. Y'all have a beautiful night. Thank you for watching the Fuller Homestead.